My name is Kristen, and I am Randy's daughter. On behalf of my family, we would like to thank you all for being here to celebrate someone who was not only special to us, but by the looks of this room, special to you too.
We love you, Denise.
I love you too.
Thank you. We'd like to thank everyone here at Baldini's for today. Dad loved his Baldini's family, and we appreciate it. Lori Hellickson with CSG Direct, thank you for your kindness and our talks about my dad. The program's pictures and displays are fantastic, and Dad would be thrilled. He was very lucky to have you as a friend. Angel Scurry, your arrangements are beautiful. Thank you. My dad had big love for the Scurry family. We do too. My friend Lacey, your Wolfpack cookies
You know why I
are a
told
hit.
you know I wore this?
Thank you for sharing your talent
Remember
with
the
us.
Cobra?
We love you. It's speech time.
I just said that story.
And I think I'll start by apologizing to the little ones in the room, as there's a sprinkling of profanity in this speech. But if you knew my dad, he wouldn't have had it any other way. If English was his first language, swear words were his second language, and I know that you've all heard it. My dad's voice was unmistakable, whether it was shouting, "I think I tore my hamstring, I'm dying," out on the softball field. Yeah, it happened a lot. Screaming at the refs, coaches, players, or anyone who dared to ask him to be quiet at a Wolfpack game. My dad's voice was unmistakable. I lost my face, I'm sorry. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. Through the span of his career at Carl's Silver Club, the Atlantis, the Silver Legacy, or Baldini's, you could always hear Randy touting his latest super duper bingo blowout extravaganza spectacular over the loudspeaker. Much like his favorite singer, Elvis Presley, you always knew when Randy Wike was in the building. Dad would be the first to loudly greet anyone he knew, whether it be in his 1982 Chevy Blazer at an intersection, honking and leaning out of his window, screaming across that intersection, or in an otherwise quiet room full of people to an old friend. He was always the loudest in the room and always had a unique way of greeting everyone. My childhood and best friend, Bridget, recently recounted how he would always loudly greet her with a, "I used to change your shitty diapers," when announcing to anyone who was around how he knew her. It made me laugh, not just because I've heard it at least 500 times, but I know that Randy Wike had never in his life changed a shitty diaper. As a matter of fact, he never even changed a spare tire before my mom taught him how. She always took care of my dad. Most of you probably already know this, but he also loved to sing. And although most would not consider him a good singer, he never cared, and he wanted to share his gift of song with everybody. I remember being woken up every day at 6 a.m. to hear my dad singing along with Patsy Cline or Elvis, or one of our many dreadful car rides to those softball games in Winnemucca, with the radio up full blast, tapping the fingers on his steering wheel, maybe even the person's head in the passenger seat. He always had a dance move in that car. When the radio was on, the Randy Wike Show was on. His love for music spanned all genres. We would be listening to Billy Ocean 1 minute, George Strait the next. 3.5 minutes in, it was Creedence Clearwater Revival, and there was always a dash of Lionel Richie sprinkled in there somewhere. I swear, there wasn't a song my dad didn't know the words to, and he had a performance for all of those too. If English was his first language, and swearing was his second language, I guess singing was his love language. He never missed an opportunity to serenade my mama. He would aptly refer to her as his little Texas tornado from a 1990s Tracy Burns song. Growing up, as you can imagine, I wouldn't say our house was a calm or a quiet environment. Mornings were always chaotic in our house. In addition to music blaring from that record player in the bedroom, The blow dryer would be intermittently humming in the bathroom, and the Andy Griffith Show or Leave It to Beaver would be on full blast in the living room. I can still hear that voice shouting over all of the noise, "Where's my goddamn comb?" from the bathroom. It always amazed me that that man could spend 2 hours getting ready, use a full bottle of hairspray in just 4 days, even though there wasn't much hair. I can't say for sure, but if I were going to make a Randy Wike bet, odds are that that hair loss was caused by having 3 kids in that tiny house on East M Street. I'm confident none of our neighbors liked us. At any time of the day, you could hear Randy yell, "Kristen Denise Wike," or "Justin Eugene Wike." My brother and I always knew when we were in trouble. The first and the middle name being yelled was not uncommon, and has even followed me into my adult life. My brother Aaron, well, he never got the middle name treatment. He was always the good kid. As a matter of fact, the only time I ever heard Aaron Kyle Wike was at the Reno Balloon Races in 1986. And it wasn't because Aaron was in trouble. It was actually Randy that was about to be in big trouble with Denise because he had lost my brother in a crowd of a few thousand people at Dawn Patrol. Luckily, my 4-year-old brother Aaron Kyle had found a man with a microphone who loudly announced, "Would Aaron Cleo's dad please come to the main stage?" Funny that Aaron knew that's how he'd find my dad, by finding a microphone. As a side note, my dad would always lose things. His keys, his wallet, his treasured green comb. He often lost his paycheck when he would lose all of those bets at the sports book. I could go on, but there's simply not enough time. In more recent years, my dad found a new microphone and a new audience in the Bookie and the Better podcast. In the last few weeks, I have spent hours just watching that podcast, laughing and sometimes crying. I've enjoyed seeing his joy in doing that show and hearing his voice again. And I thought today you all might enjoy hearing it too.
Me. Hey, Dad, look at the camera. No, you jerk.
Don't you put that on my Facebook with that name thing on there. I do not want that on there. Get it off. Get it, I will kill you. It's all fucking birthday, I didn't think. Since 2005!
Hang on to the wall.
No. Come over here. Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas, little boy! Merry Christmas, you two! Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! Did one of your little elves already open that? Oh, yeah! My sack has got a little slippery on this little snow. Pleasure to be here. Whoa! Football season. Did you get Taylor Swift's pick?
Here we go. I have a bucket for you. You're gonna fill that before the end of this episode.
Let me tell you, my wife, when I got home the other night after game 2, she had to put the dogs out of the bedroom because I was so upset. Upset, which, again, a young team, you're gonna have these mistakes, but the dogs are not in a safe place when I get home after a whoop-up loss.
I was gonna go ahead and let that breathe for just a hot minute.
Cry, silver and blue, I cried. That blue with the tears, I had tears and stuff.
Dallas Mavericks, turn out the lights, the party's over.
Should have just gotten that.
Yeah, I thought we could've got at least one episode.
It's there.
Do you gotta start paying royalties? I do.
I'm gonna actually go.
Is it ASCAP or?
I'm not sure if that's
Did you hear that, I think it was Dak Prescott and his girlfriend broke up after 5 years? she knew she was never gonna get a ring, so.
Ah ha ha. But don't bonus. Ready, got you.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. Well, remember Christian McCaffrey got married. That's gonna ruin his career right there.
He's gonna have 2,000 yards rushing. Rushing. Forget about combined.
Because he got married?
Happy wife, happy life.
Excuse me, it's happy spouse, happy house. So
It's been said that defense does win championships.
I think I've heard that. Defense wins championship, folks.
Randy Wike.
Wait a minute, I got a question. Is the NFL, while we're gonna get talking, is the NFL now changing everything? Is it the NFL presented by Taylor Swift in 2020? Is that what is, I'm just
Way
curious.
too early for this shit.
Huh? Okay.
I am not ready for Taylor Swift right now.
The NFL presented by Taylor Swift. I mean, she's taking over, so.
You know, like a couple better a game and then the concert.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna happen.
You gotta put Purdy for MVP. I mean, how do you, if you're a Niners fan, how do you not take that?
Turn out the lights.
Randy, what are you most grateful for in 2020?
It's funny you brought this up, because you said that earlier. I just did this week for my family. 44 years I've been married to the same woman, and she takes care of me more than I take care of myself. And I've had 3 kids that have grown up to have their own businesses, do their own thing. Now I got a sheriff's deputy, a CFO of the firehouse. My daughter owns her own business. But to have 7 grandkids, I am really thinking, around the holidays, there is nothing better than grandkids.
All right. So 44 years with Randy as my dad gave me a lot of memories. I remember camping trips with the Scurries and the Archbalds, catching up with Hoppy after a game, Uncle Roger blasting Ryan Adams, and summers at the lake with the Ross family. He loved being with his friends, and he was always the life of the party. Watching all of those home videos and podcast clips over the last few weeks, reminiscing about fun times with my dad's friends, he truly did love to make people laugh and to make people smile. It gave him a lot of joy. And watching over those videos, I've had a few thoughts. My first thought is that I hope my kids, my nieces, and my nephews see those videos and see how much joy he got from his grandkids. He loved being Santa's helper. And Addison, Avery, Braden, Ryder, Bubby, Everly, Emmett, he loved you so much. Justin and Aaron, he was very proud of you and the men that you are, the husbands you are to your wives, and the dads that you have become to your kids. My second thought is that if the casino thing hadn't worked out, my dad could have been a salesman, maybe even a star on QVC. He really did make those amazing, never been done before, hummingbird wind chimes, Baldini's fake Bible safes, and Salt Rock lamp giveaways really look amazing. When watching those videos of the bookie and the betters, which I had never bothered to watch prior to his passing, I've also had some could'ves, should'ves, and would'ves run through my mind. My first is the could've. My dad used to drive me crazy with how fired up he would get over everything, but especially sports. I avoided going to any sporting event with my dad for fear of getting kicked out over my dad's outbursts, swearing fits, and his red-faced, sleeves-rolled-up arguments he'd get in with all the people around him. I could have appreciated my dad more for the person that he was. He was pretty damn funny. I'd give anything to go back in time, throw back a few beers at a game, and maybe even enjoy his chaos just one more time. My should've is that, like Kowalski did on that podcast, my brothers and I should have demanded that my dad be fined every time he burst out into random song, lost something, or got fired up over nothing, or started a sentence with, like I always say. Had he done that, we'd all be very well off. My would have lies with Taylor Swift. My youngest daughter and I are self-proclaimed Swifties. And had I known that Randy had such disdain for our girl Tay, and how fired up he got at having to see her on the screen during Chiefs games, I would have sent him memes and left him voice messages singing Taylor Swift songs every single week during football season. I would have brought him back an Eras Tour t-shirt to add to his colorful wardrobe. I would have brought Kowalski, Nick, and my dad matching friendship bracelets and watched my dad's face turn bright red while listening to him rant for the next 20 minutes about how she has no place on TV during his NFL football games. Getting my dad fired up has always been, and will always be, something that makes me laugh. His retorts were quick, and they were the best. I sure do hope my dad is watching today. I know that he would get the biggest kick out of all of you being here in his honor. If my dad is watching today, Dad, I hope I made you proud. Thank you for all the lessons, both good and bad. I hope that you are dancing in heaven like nobody's watching. When I hear Lionel Richie, I'll take it as a sign that you are saying, hello. I promise to tap the steering wheel and annoy the shit out of my kids in your honor. Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get to say goodbye, but I sure hope that you knew that I loved you. I'll miss you, old man. Thank you. Next up is Jimmy Miner.